We have a question here which is related to the continuity equation. This is a pipe with a branch in it. The fluid is coming into this pipe at section 1, which is having the cross section area 0.2 meter square. Velocity of inlet at 1 is 4 meter per second, and there are two exits. At section 2, the area of cross section is same 0.2 meter square, velocity is 2 meter per second, and at section 3, the area is double 0.4 meter square and velocity we have to find. So in this type of question, the principle of conservation of mass, which is nothing but the continuity equation, is to be used assuming that the density of the fluid remains constant. So it is incompressible fluid, ideal fluid. So we can write that the fluid coming in equal to fluid going out. So fluid coming in is equal to A1 multiplied by V1. This is the quantity of the fluid, or you can say the volume of the fluid. If I write the mass, multiply this by density. This is fluid coming in equal to fluid going out at 2 rho A2 V2 plus fluid going out at section 3. Density is constant, so this term cancels out. So we can write A1 V1 equal to A2 V2 plus A3 V3. Now putting the values in this equation, A1 into V1 equal to A2 into V2 plus A3 into V3. This will give you the value of V3, which is 0.8 minus 0.4 divided by 0.4. So V3 is equal to 1 meter per second. Answer. So you can see that here the area of cross section changes, and as a result of this the velocity is also changing. So area of cross section is increasing. At these two sections it is 0.2 meter square. So here it is more, so the velocity is decreasing. This is the answer to this question. The values of velocity which are given here, it is 4 meter per second, 2 meter per second. Area of cross section at 1 and 2 are same. So it does not mean that here the area of cross section are same, it means the velocity should be same. This will happen only in case the fluid is coming from 1, going out at 2, and there is no outlet at 3. In that case only the velocity at 1 and 2 will be same. So answer is 1 meter per second. So note it down please. So this question is related to the Archimedes' principle. We have a wooden block which is kept immersed partially in water inside the beaker, such that 40% of its volume is outside water, 60% is immersed. This is the first case. And when this is kept, entire system is kept in a lift. The lift is moving up with an acceleration of g by 2. Then what will be the portion which will be outside water and what will be the portion which will be inside the water? This we have to find. So same mass kept in same water, in same container, is kept entire in a lift, and the lift is moving upwards. Here this is stationary system. So now let us take the volume of block is equal to V, and density of liquid, that is water, is say rho m. Mass of this block is m, and here in this case 40% is outside water. So immersed volume in the first case is 60%, 0.6 times of the total volume. This volume is immersed in liquid. Now according to Archimedes' principle, the downward force, that is weight, which is equal to mg, is equal to the upward thrust, buoyancy force, which is acting on this much portion, because of this much portion. This is equal to mass of the liquid displaced. So volume of liquid displaced equal to immersed volume into density of the liquid into g. So this is the first equation. Now in second equation, you know that the effective acceleration becomes G plus G by 2. This is 3G divided by 2. We have discussed this previously. So in second case, the upward net force is the downward force is equal to 3 mg by 2. The weight is m into the effective acceleration, 3g by 2. This is the effective weight, not the actual weight. Actual weight, mass remains constant and weight here is changing to 3 mg by 2 because of the normal reaction which increases in a moving lift. And the effective acceleration is given by magnitude of g minus a. These are the vectors. Here g and a are having different directions. A is minus g by 2, so g plus g by 2 in the downward direction. This must be equal to the volume immersed. In this case, this is the immersed volume multiplied by density of liquid into g. Now putting the value of mg from here, this value of mg in this equation, we can write 3 by 2 into 0.6 v rho L g equal to vi rho L into g. So this will give you vi is 3 by 2 into 0.6 v. This is 0.9 v. So it means that 90% of the volume will be immersed. So I can show it. Only 1/10 is outside water and 9 by 10th is inside water. So immersed is 90% and outside is only this 10%. So you can see that if a body is moving, body is kept immersed in liquid and that system is kept in a lift which is moving upside, in that case the buoyancy force is changing. So more portion of it is immersed, 90%, so buoyancy force will be more, it will be increasing. Similarly, you can discuss what will be the case when the lift is moving in the downward direction. In that case, its normal reaction will be changed. If it is moving with acceleration in downward direction, so normal reaction. Suppose in this case, the lift were moving with acceleration g by 2 in downward direction, then you can see what will happen. So the normal reaction will be equal to g by 2 in that case. So the weight will be equal to mg by 2 and you can calculate what will be the immersed portion or volume of the immersed portion in this case. So this concept is very important, that what is the volume, how does it change according to the Archimedes principle in case of a moving lift. So note it down please. Solve this question. This is the U-tube of uniform cross section. Now I have discussed the question previously in which the U-tube is having non-uniform cross section. On one side the cross section area was more than on the other side. Here it is constant. So you should keep in mind this fact that whether the cross section area is same or not. It is same. Initially it contains mercury. So this is mercury filled in the tube. And what we do here is we put some water in the left limb. 11.2 centimeter of water is poured. That is, the height of water column is 11.2 centimeter in the left limb. So how much does the mercury rise from its initial state? Suppose this is the initial state here, and the water column, what it will cause? It will cause the liquid column to go in downward position in the left limb and to rise in the right limb. So these are the new positions of mercury. This is mercury. So the mercury goes down through a distance x or depression x, and it will rise through same height x in the right limb, because the volume remains same, which goes down and which goes up. This is below the initial line or equilibrium position, and this is above the equilibrium position. This is the height of the water column. Now you have to just apply the equation of pressure equilibrium on both sides. I will take this as the surface having same pressure on both the sides because this is same liquid mercury. So pressure on this side left is equal to pressure on right side. Pressure on left side is because of pressure caused by 11.2 centimeter height of water column. Pressure on right side is because of the mercury column, the height of which is equal to 2x and not x. So x is this height, this depth through which it goes down. So this is also x above this line and x through which it moves in the upward direction. So total height of mercury column is 2x. We can show it separately here, water and mercury. This is mercury column having a height of 2x. X is this which goes up and x because of the fluid which is going downward direction. And this is the water column. So now apply the equation. Pressure on left side is because of water 11.2, density of water 1000 kilogram per meter cube, or let us write this as 1 gram per centimeter cube into G, equal to on right side height of mercury column, density of mercury 13.6 into G. This gives you the value of X. 11.2 divided by 2 divided by 13.6 . 0.41 centimeter. This is the answer. So note it down, please. This question, this is a ball of steel which is having a density of 7.8 gram per centimeter cube, and this is falling inside water which is having a density of 1 gram per centimeter cube. The viscosity of water, this is dynamic viscosity, 8.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 Pascal second. Now the question is that if I put this ball from same height in place of water, I take the liquid as glycerin, which is having a density 12 gram per centimeter cube, and viscosity is 13.2 Pascal second. Obviously, the density and viscosity are higher for glycerin as compared to water. This is having a velocity of 10 centimeter per second in water. What will be the terminal velocity of this when it is put into glycerin? In water, the terminal velocity is 10 centimeter per second. So what should be the terminal velocity if it is put in glycerin in place of water? Now terminal velocity, we know that V is 2 by 9 r square rho minus rho L by beta. So it depends upon the difference of densities. Density of solid minus density of liquid inversely proportional to the coefficient of viscosity. And we have the same ball, so radius remains same. So V1 by V2 in this case is equal to density of solid, which is T, remains same for both the cases, minus density of liquid, which is in the first case water, density of water by rho minus density of glycerin in the second case into eta 2 divided by eta 1. 2 is glycerin, 1 is water. So putting the values in this, V2 is V1 into rho minus rho G by rho minus rho W eta W by eta G. Just put the values in this, 10 centimeter per second, 7.8 minus density of glycerin, which is 12, divided by density 7.8 steel minus density of water into viscosity of water, which is 8.5 10 to the power minus 4 divided by Then glycerin viscosity 13.2. The density of glycerin is, please make it 1.2 gram per second and not 12 gram, sorry, 1.2 gram per centimeter cube, not 12 gram per centimeter cube. This is a correction. Density of glycerin is 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. So here I have written as 12, so this should be 1.2. Otherwise, this will be a negative term and it means that the steel ball will be moving in upward direction. So this is 1.2 and not 12. Write it 1.2. So if you calculate this, you will get the answer as 6.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 centimeter per second. So you can see the change. The velocity in case of water, terminal velocity, was 10 centimeter per second, and here it reduces to 6.25 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter per second. So this is a reduction in terminal velocity, large reduction, because density of glycerin is more than density of water. Here this is not a big difference. Density of water is 1, glycerin 1.2. The big difference is because of this viscosity of glycerin 13.2. Compare this with the viscosity of water having a large value as compared to this. That's why the terminal velocity is decreasing when it is put in glycerin. So note it down, please. Now this is a question which is related to Bernoulli's equation. Now I sometimes ask a question to the students that if water is coming down, this is a tap and through which the water is coming down. So at some distance from this opening, if the water is coming vertically, so what will be the diameter of water stream at some distance downstream? Will it be more than here in where the water is coming out, or it will be less than this? So the general answer that the students gave that it will be more here as compared to this opening. Now the water stream diameter here will be decreasing. That is, water falls in such a way that the diameter of the stream vertically downwards is decreasing as compared to this. I will tell you the reason why this happens. First of all, now let us make the calculation. The question is, we have a tap, this is the tap, and at the outlet of this, the diameter, in the internal diameter or the diameter of water stream is 8 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. This is the diameter. The water is coming out with a speed of 0.4 meter per second, and downstream, starting from this point, this is section 1, at section 2, which is 0.2 meter downwards. What is the value of diameter of the water stream? Now what we have to do here is just apply the Bernoulli's equation. If I take a point at section 1, which is just outside or just included in section 1, so the pressure here is atmospheric pressure, and pressure at section 2 is also atmospheric pressure. So applying Bernoulli equation between 1 and 2. At point 1, the pressure is atmospheric. If I take this surface as the datum passing through point 2, so the equation is PA at section 1 atmospheric pressure plus rho GH. H is this height of section 1 from datum plus its energy, which is kinetic energy here. It is having kinetic energy. Half rho V1 square equal to pressure at 2 is atmospheric, potential energy is 0 as we are measuring from this, and kinetic energy half rho V2 square. So we can write this as equal to V2 square minus V1 square equal to pressure, this cancels out, half rho equal to rho GH. And we can use the continuity equation between 1 and 2. So I can write A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So rho cancels out on both sides. if I take V1 square as common because we know the value of V1, V2 by V1 whole square minus 1 equal to GH. And V2 by V1 I can put from here A1 by A2. So V1 square A1 by A2 whole square minus 1 equal to GH. Now we know that A1 by A2 is D1 by D2 raised to the power 2, where D is the diameter. D1 is diameter at this section, D2 is the diameter at section 2. So if you solve this, you will get the value of D2. You can write the value of D2 is equal to D1 upon 1 plus 2GH upon V1 square and whole raised to the power 1 by 4. So putting the values in this, here D1 is 8 mm, 8 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. And V1 is velocity at section 1, 0.4 meter per second. H is 0.2 meter. So put the values in this and you will get the answer equal to 3.6 mm or 3.6 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Now you can see here initially the diameter was 8 mm, and when it comes down through a certain distance 0.2 meter, the diameter reduces to 3.6 mm. Now what is the reason behind this? As velocity here, you can see the continuity equation is A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So as the water comes down, its velocity increases because of gravity. So if velocity increases, then area of cross section must increase, but here it is decreasing. So what is the reason? The reason is when the velocity increases, so according to Bernoulli's equation, to compensate this increase in kinetic energy, the pressure energy is also changing. So the pressure changes here, so pressure must decrease. So pressure decreases here. As a result, so the pressure here decreases as compared to this point. So as a result, the atmospheric pressure, which is same at both the sections 1 and 2, the atmosphere is pressing this liquid column. So as a result, the diameter here is less as compared to diameter at section 1. So this is the correct reason. So you must understand this, as this question is asked sometime. What will be the diameter here? Will it be less or more as compared to diameter at section 1, and why it is so? So note it down, please. Now we have a rod in this question which is made of some material. So OC is the rod. The specific gravity of this rod is 0.5. Means it is lighter than water. Now it is kept in this position, hinged at A. That means at this point there is a hinge, and this rod OC has been fixed to this, such that the water is in the tank and the height of water in the tank is 0.5 meter. This is 0.5 meter, and the rod in this position is in equilibrium. Net force on this is equal to 0. So we have to find the what is the angle made by this rod with the vertical, that is theta. What is the value of this angle? Excluding the case when theta equal to 0 degree, that is when it is vertical. The length of the rod you can take equal to 1 meter. This OC length is 1 meter. Suppose weight of the rod is taken as W. Now let us consider this. What are the forces acting in this situation? The portion OB of this rod is immersed in water, inclined with the vertical. So the only portion OB will be experiencing the thrust force. Remember, thrust force is acting only on the portion which is immersed in liquid. So OB is experiencing this let A be this point, and where the thrust force is acting? At the center of the portion immersed. So OB is immersed, half of this is point A, OA, is equal to half of OB. So the thrust force is acting at this point in upward direction. F is the thrust force. What about the weight? Weight of the rod is acting at its center, which is G, this point. This is acting in downward direction. So length of rod is 1 meter. Now this point G, this may be outside the immersed portion or maybe inside, does not matter. So what we can do here is, for the equilibrium of the rod, net moments, summation of all the moments about a point must be equal to 0. And what are the forces acting? Thrust force and weight. So what point should we choose so that the minimum forces are taken for calculating the moments? Let us take this point O, because here we have a hinge, and if I do not take this point, I will have to take into account the reaction at the hinge also, which is unknown. So take the moments about this point. Now you should know how to calculate the moment. Moment of a force is given by the force, suppose this force F multiplied by the shortest distance of the line of action of this force from the point from which we have to take the moment. So O is the point, F is the line of, this is the line of action of thrust force F. So this force multiplied by the perpendicular distance. Similarly, W multiplied by this distance. Now you can see the nature of the forces. F is trying to rotate this rod about this point in this direction, anti-clockwise, whereas W is trying to rotate this rod in clockwise direction about this point. So they are having moments in opposite direction. Now first of all, calculate this length OA. Now we know that this angle is theta, so this angle is also theta, and this angle is also theta. So I can write cos theta is equal to cos theta, this point is B, this length OG is equal to half of the total length. This is 0.5 meter, so we can calculate OB. So cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse, base is 0.5 divided by OB. So OB is 0.5 sec theta and OA is half of this, as I have written here, 0.25 sec theta. Now take the moments about point O. First take the moment of F. This is in this direction and this is anti-clockwise direction. Let us take this as positive. So thrust force multiplied by distance of line of action perpendicular from O. This angle is theta, so sin theta is this distance divided by OA. So this is OA sin theta. This angle is theta, so this distance is sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So this is positive and this moment must be negative. Minus W into distance of this line of action from this point. So again you can write the value for this distance, and this is equal to L by 2 sin theta. L is the total length of this. Half of this is L by 2, must be equal to 0. This total length is L and O to G, this point is L by 2. So I can write F into OA sin theta, put the value of OA 0.25 sec theta into sin theta W L by 2 sin theta. So this will give you the value of cos theta, which is equal to sin theta is cancelled because theta or equal to 0 is not included. So I can write cos theta is equal to 2 into 0.25 into F divided by W. That is equal to F by 2W. So we have to put the value of thrust force and its weight. So cos theta equal to F by 2W. What is the value of F? F is equal to thrust force. Now let us take the cross section area of the tube equal to A. So F I can write equal to thrust force because of the immersed volume. So immersed length is OB 0.25 sec theta. So this length multiplied by the area of cross section, 0.5 cos theta. This is, I am writing the expression for thrust force. So thrust force is the length multiplied by area of cross section into density of liquid, and density of liquid you can take equal to 1 gram per centimeter cube, this is water, into G divided by 2 into W. W is the weight. Weight is volume, that is length, 1 meter, area of cross section, this is volume, into density of the rod. Specific gravity is 0.5. So density is specific gravity into density of water. Here I have taken density as 1 because this is in gram per centimeter multiplied by G. So you can, sorry, this is sec theta, not cos theta. If you solve this, you will get the value of theta equal to 1 by under root 2. Cos theta is 1 by root 2. So theta is 45. So in equilibrium, this angle will be 45 degree. This is the answer. Note it down, please.